the guy on the left, with the jacket kneeling down in the front. So just so we can keep track, it'd be hard for me to keep describing. I don't know the names of the gentlemen. I wish I did. Um, so I do think there is a center to this photo, and I do see that these people are probably pretty familiar. But then there's another guy, the guy in the back. There's two people with mustaches. So the one guy I'm going to call on the far left, just mustache, no eyebrows. And the other guy I'm going to call mustache eyebrows. The guy with on the right, the guy with mustache eyebrows, he's got an arm on the guy on the chair, and that's very interesting because they could be part of the same office. He could have been just trying to. Those two gentlemen have some affiliation. Um, it's not clear. I'm going to say they're probably both management, because again they both have the tie. They don't wear the lab coat. They're not comfortable wearing. If they're inside of a prehistoric shark jar, they're not comfortable having the lab coat on. So I have to say the two in front, um, they definitely are. I'm starting to lean to scientists, and I would actually say the guy who's sitting on the chair, I could see him with a monocle. I can see his one eye. It's kind of I see. I think he had them. He could have had the monocle and just put it out. He could be clutching the monocle in one of those hands, but I can see him. He's still ready to do science while he's inside the jaw here for the photo. He's thinking. I mean, he is not engaged in the whole photographic process. He's probably not even conscious he's being leaned on by these other people. He's thinking about some science problem. He's thinking about, I really would like to go back and work on some of my formulas. I really would feel more comfortable with with my monocle on. So I think there's a little of that going on here, and the other thing is, I started thinking also other things about that are coming apparent in this photo. I believe the guy in the back who's looking over the shoulders of what I'm calling the two managers. I'm not going to get into mustache, no eyebrows yet, because I think there's a whole story there that we can spend a lot of time there. The guy in the back is just kind of wandered up. What's going on? What's going on here? I'm not sure, and I can be honest that he's even conscious that there's a jaw, that he's standing in a shark jaw. I don't see that in his face. There's not a lot. There's not a lot of excitement. He's just kind of looking at. He's very curious, just kind of photobombing the picture. He's not grabbing anybody. He's not. They don't seem conscious of him even being there. And that's one interpretation of that gentleman. But if you kind of pull it all together, you do. I do see a little bit of those mustaches. I do see a callback, and I'm starting to think barbershop quartet. And the reason, I mean, I'm not just randomly saying. I could say that for any group of people. Again, they're all males too, because usually there's not mixed gender barbershop quartets. It's usually there are males, and then females have their own kinds of group, but they don't really have any association with the barbershop. Maybe more of a salon or haircutting. More of a salon. I'm going with salon. And if you look at that, the guy on the far right, mustache and eyebrows, that guy is definitely singing. I mean, he is. I mean, he's not. He's not telling what the people what to do. You have a different face when you're telling people. He's clearly singing, um, and if you look at the guy, I like the guy in the what I'm calling two knees on the bottom left. If you look at his face, I mean, we're gonna go into faces now. If you go into his face, he's clearly having an existential crisis of some sort. I mean, he is. Again, he's not thinking science like the guy who's the guy next to him in the lab coat. He's not going through formulas. It's almost like he's catching in the corner of his eye. He's seeing a meteor coming, and about to just crash into them all. There is something of meteoric. It's not just a small object that's coming towards him, like a basketball, like somebody sees. Oh, look, great! The scientists are in the jaw again. Like this may not be the first time that they've ever been in the jaw. They may go there, and it's not clear to me if the jaw itself is, it could be, it could be by a window maybe, and these gentlemen often go there to, to see what's going on in the streets and things of that nature. People watch, and but it's clearly, sorry, there's clearly something coming towards the jaw, and he caught it in his eye. There's fear in that face. I see fear. And it's not like a basketball, like someone's just throwing a basketball saying, hey, think fast. Here's the scientists are again conjugating or congregating. They may be I think if anyone's conjugating, it's the guy sitting on the chair. But congregating, I think there's the scientists congregating again, and throwing a basketball at them. Him seeing the basketball, but I don't think it's that. It's much larger. It's almost like he's seeing some huge seismic event unfolding, and he's the only one aware of it. The one behind him, I would say, no eyebrows, mustache behind him, hands in pocket, very casual. He's almost like he's engaged in the people. I am seeing. So there's him. He's definitely looks like he's people watching, and then the other guy, the guy who said it was photobombing. Photobomb is I see him the closest from a consciousness perspective on the same plane as mustache, no eyebrows. They're definitely seeing something unfold, maybe out in the street. I'm not quite. Again, I don't know where this jaw is. Did they have easy access to get behind the jaw? It's not clear. It's not clear from this photo, and I mean that's not really what it's entirely. But I think it's good when trying to reconstruct the context of a photo that you need to think through these things. You need to ruminate over them, and there's not always a right answer. So don't feel inhibited that you have to have this accurate, 100% accurate. We're just modeling here. We're trying to figure out what's happening here, and what was the photographer trying to catch in this moment, and what was going on in the inner life of these 6 gentlemen, without any information other than the photo. So what else can we